He's a spy with amnesia, and I wrote about a spy and always forget where I put my keys. Are we connected? Hello, welcome to Christy Grey Scarlet Pen. I'm an author, creativity chaser, and book lover. Another book versus the movie is facing off, and this time it is Jason Bourne with the Bourne Identity. I used to like the movies. I wasn't sure, I hadn't seen it for a very long time, but I knew it was based off of a book, so we sat down to attempt to read the book that the movie was based off and watch the movie as well. First of all, movie-wise, I love Matt Damon. He's always really fun, and I quite liked the film. So yay for still liking something that I thought I had liked a long time ago. And then I sat down to read the book. It seems to be a common thread in books and movies that when they turn a story into a film, they actually end up trying to make the characters a little bit more likable than they are in the novels themselves. Characters in books, when it comes to versus the movie, are just usually a lot more unlikable, really annoying, really hard, really have too much edge. Like, characters in books just seem to just really not do it for me when it comes to comparing it to the Hollywood characters. Love Matt Damon and love him as Bourne. So for me to read them, Jason Bourne, and realize that in the books, a bit more of a dick, that was disappointing. He's just not as likable. He's really unlikable, actually. I just didn't feel sympathy for him for not remembering who he was. I didn't like him as character at all. There were a lot of differences. The way that Jason Bourne was found, the story with him and the leading lady, she was altogether different. There was so many changes in the film versus in the book. What they seem to have done is pull threads from the story in the novel and roll with that in a different way. So maybe it was Jason was found in a boat, but the way he was found, what happened afterwards, was totally different. So they really just sort of picked up one little thread in the whole tapestry of the novel and went, we like this element, but we're going to do it this totally different way. And I think that if you're gonna do a movie based off of a book, I just feel like maybe you should do it the other way around. We like pull most of this book and make it into the film and then just change small things as opposed to the other way around, because it's annoying when you've read the book and you know the story and then it just is totally flipped on its head. So in the book, the injuries that Jason sustained were a lot more serious than in the film. In Hollywood films tend to just give someone an injury and then they shake it off and keep moving on and keep fighting and completely ignore the fact that they were shot in the heart or something ridiculous, and they just move on with their lives and they're fine. This was not so in the book. They really pushed hard how severe his wounds were, especially from the first scene when he was first found. And so it was a lot more clear how deadly his wounds really were. I like that element. I think it's annoying when films make it seem like, you know, you can get shot in the leg and then just walk without a limp 10 minutes later. That's super unrealistic. So I think if you're going to do that and you're going to have those kind of injuries, roll with it for the film. So the Bourne Identity is actually made up of 3 books, which I would sort of classify as novellas thrown into one big story. That was kind of cool, but it didn't really have anything to do with the film at all. It was just an interesting thing about the book itself. And one of the big things that I just really disliked about Bourne was also that he was so frustrated and angry and annoyed with himself that he couldn't remember. He's just annoyed at himself for having amnesia. How dare you, brain? How dare you have amnesia? Oh, it's so frustrating. It drove me nuts to have that reminded every 3 pages, to be reminded of the fact that he was annoyed or frustrated with the fact that he can't remember anything. It wasn't annoyed or frustrated, people are chasing him and following him and whatever. It was annoyed and frustrated that he just can't remember stupid things that don't matter. That was a little bit whiny. He was whiny. I just didn't like it. Just his character altogether, I just didn't like him. So unfortunately, I haven't really done this very much, but I actually didn't finish the book at all. I refused to finish it. I refused to keep going. I was hating it. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't see any point finishing it. I just was disappointed with the book. I liked the movie. I think they did a good job. But for me, the book was a no. I couldn't finish it, and I was really disappointed with that. But, you know, you only have a finite amount of time on this earth, and I didn't want to fill it up with reading The Bourne Identity. C'est la vie. La vie. Have you read The Bourne Identity and seen the movie, or have you only just done one? Let me know your thoughts below, if you agreed or disagreed with me, or if you were surprised by what happened in my investigation into Bourne. But please let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the adventures.